Hey everyone, and welcome back to City Skylines Building Nathaniel's Bay. That's me, Nathaniel. And we're just gonna jump right in and destroy a bunch of metro that we don't need. And we're going to replace that with more of a infinity loop metro system here where the two loops just kind of interconnect. This way it's easier for passengers to jump from loop to loop, and they don't have to go up the stairs, cross the street, go down the stairs. It's just simple. And so we're just recreating the loops we had, but inside a dual loop interconnected system. And then the other opportunity here now is we can have another kind of loop that goes from one side of the city to the other. And so that's really what's exciting. So our bus line system is also a little bit interesting here. I think more and more it's looking like a massive catastrophe. You've got 400 bodies crammed in that one little area. I don't even know how that's possible, but we need a secondary street here that's going to relieve some congestion off this main road and give the opportunity for the buses to pull over, clear the road, and pick up the pedestrians. So we don't have like 6 million pedestrians standing at one bus stop. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. That was, I had to, I'm sorry. And so I'm just super stoked to see how this is gonna work. And you know what, if it doesn't work, and if this bus system isn't working, I'm just gonna fire all my bus drivers. Just fire them all. Why not just fire them all? Right. So we see, like, one of the big reasons why we had so many people piled on is because it was 2 bus stops in one. So 2 different bus lines were meeting at one spot, which is great, but it doesn't give the buses the opportunity to pull over, and they pile on top of each other. So we forgot to put our little interconnects here. So now we actually can do our entire city crossing. And you know what? This is gonna give us way more abilities for pedestrians to cross the city. Way more opportunities. Our profits are just not really in the green yet. Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting much closer. Oh, we're further away. Anyways, it's getting there. So we're gonna name it the city crossing clockwise, and then our other line is city crossing counter clockwise. And so that's it. That's 6 metro lines. We're going to increase priority for our 1 city crossing counterclockwise because it seems we have a lot of passengers jumping on those metros. Massive amounts. Looks like we're just about break even in transit now, but we're going to have to evaluate here. We got 1 metro doing 186 passengers. We've got the one by the hospital that's doing 186 as well. 140 near the industry. And this one here is kind of off to the side, and it's not really doing much. 57 passengers. We definitely need some pedestrian pathways to connect this to the main city area, because it's very isolated. And an isolated metro station is not very useful for our people, and it's also costing us a lot of money and not giving much value. So we're going to connect that over, under, down there, connect it to a shopping and residential area. Maybe someone has jobs over on that side, or they just want to hop on the metro. gives them a little opportunity to do that. A little easier to get to work there. Oh, we got one person using the path already. Not much, but let's hope we get a little bit more use from that a little later. Same thing over here. We got a street that's fairly isolated, an industry road that's fairly isolated from the metro. If we connect it, they won't have to walk all the way around, but might encourage the use of that metro. Our little intersection here, not really much of an intersection, but doesn't have a way for pedestrian to get around. Now it does. Okay, so we're about 1,500 passengers on our transit system, and 1,000 of them are on the bus lines. Let's just see if we can shift those people over to the metro. And will it be a more efficient way of moving? Will it be easier for our people? Yeah, well, there we go. They're all fired. They're all canned. They're all losing their jobs. Sorry, guys. One other thing, too, is we could even delete this bus depot out here. It might give us a lot of space. Wow. That is our first big 4-digit profit. I am super happy to see that. Speed up time a little bit and see. We're still trying to recuperate some of the ride share that we've lost. Wow, just like incredible profits right now coming from our metro. This is the best profits we've ever seen from our transit system ever, and it's just 2 perfect little loops. Now, unfortunately, we can't just focus on profit because we do need this system to be accessible, especially since we just canned a bunch of bus drivers. We need people from the far corners of the city to still be able to use our transit system. And we're also going to increase the density. Wherever we have connections to metro, we can increase the density of our residential neighborhoods so that, you know, those people are happy. And those metros are well used. So we're just gonna get this guy connected here. It's sad to ruin our perfect loop, but if it means that it's gonna be more useful for everyone, that's awesome. It'll be slightly less useful for some people, but slightly more useful for some people. And maybe someone has a friend that lives in this and a town that they can get to easier, and it'll save them a car trip. And it will increase our traffic flow. Okay, so we're gonna increase our budget here and hope we can get more people riding on that specific loop. One thing I like to do to soak up some of the noise pollution and just make the metro entry and exit points a little more pretty is to just decorate them with some beautiful foliage. Now, let's check and see if we've got our transit riders back. 1,129 per week, not bad. Alright, our profits are very healthy. So we've almost got our riders back. Maybe a better connection to industry, however, can maybe just give us that extra little push that we need to get people back on the transit system. It can be useful still to use the bus depot and bus systems to test where in the city you have poor access to transit, and then just drop that metro and see we've got this beautiful little gap now. I wonder, maybe later we'll put our university here. It looks like our noise pollution even has gone down. Oh, that's a nice lightning bolt. Alright, so we also have a high school and an elementary school down in this corner. Now, the teenagers ride the metro. Let's get the teenagers who head off to the high school better connected. I know this was a popular bus line that led to this high school, so I think it's great if we give them better access to that. And we have another high school here right south of the farming district, and some high density houses, so maybe this will be a great spot to get people connected. A little bit of an isolated line here. We won't connect that with the city crossing. Fired our bus drivers and got rid of our bus depot. We had a university spot perfectly opened up, and now we just got to get it connected back up with some pedestrian footpaths. And then also, maybe we have room here. Oh, we do. We have room for a metro. And how are we going to connect that metro to the rest of our system, however? We need maybe one adjustment right in the middle of our loop on the left side of our city here. We got to find a spot that maybe also connects it well to Nathaniel's Bay Park. It's close enough. It'll definitely help us serve a lesser served portion of the city. And we can connect and maybe just make like a little inner city, inner downtown metro loop. We'll have to fish it up and down and under and over some of our other metros. But overall, this one is going to be a great one just to be able to serve those university and those Nathaniel's Bay Park people that are traveling around the city, and other people on the other around the edges of the city who can take metros to the adjacent stations to get over to this center, downtown connection. Wow, that's pretty good profits. It's not all about the profits. We've got better traffic flow. What else? Maybe we can move some things. So I've created some other highways around here just so we could get the trash out of the city. Now that our city's grown, we want to kind of move our incinerators and our, just level some ground and somewhere else and get that out of the way. And maybe we can put more useful things that will benefit better from closer proximity to the downtown. Maybe some jobs for industrial workers. And we do have an empty space that maybe we can commercialize on a little bit. And some other, tiny little spaces here for some foliage around the metro and pretty things up a little bit. So it's definitely looking like our pedestrian paths here are very well utilized. I'm very happy we were able to put that. Lots of people making great use of these pathways. It's too bad you can't actually connect the paths to the sides and back of the university, only the front. It's just kind of lame. It's not like a park connection where you can connect different parts of the park to it. Anyways, we've got a new little residential district in behind here now, so we did gain quite a bit from moving that cemetery out of town and getting this other landfill out of the way. And hopefully we're just going to be able to continue collecting more funds for the city from stuff that's going to really benefit. And these highway connections are still fairly well connected to the city. And here's our opportunity for some jobs for people, and maybe our cemetery can not be right beside the landfill as well. We have another crematorium, so we'll just put it beside there. Our garbage processing area over here can use a little bit of a tidy up and a little bit of a compacting here. We do have a fair demand for jobs. I do appreciate how this university is set up in the center of our town, though. This is great. A lot of people are more connected. We have a crosswalk here. I'd like it to be moved right in between the high school and the university, because now this metro is even better connected to the high school that's across the road. There's a public library even. And we do have pathways that just aren't being used, and I think it's kind of a glitch where you have to actually connect things to the street beside things, not directly to metros, because it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. We can continue to add foliage just around our metros that I enjoy doing this because, again, it soaks up a lot of the noise pollution, and it makes nice little patches of green in the city, so it's not just all concrete jungle. It's alive. It's got some breath in it. And here's our better connection to the public library for university students and high school students, and even a little higher density residential district here that can be well connected to our metro. One thing, however, is our intersection just by the university has gotten very busy, so maybe we can just create a roundabout here. I would love to see a bustling roundabout right in the center of the city. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while, many episodes now, but I'm happy to just kind of connect. Hey, and now our park isn't a perfect square, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be a perfect square, and maybe we'll perfect the circle another time, but we just need to get it pretty here. We do need the pedestrian pathways, however. We can't get them in, so we're going to have to just keep it at a 2-lane. And, we do need to make sure that there's a lot of space for people to walk and pedestrians to cross, and so that's great. We can look here, like, we may not need 3 lanes on each side, and these roads will cost less to maintain. So that's one of the benefits here is we have a highway on the outside of our city, and we have a little roundabout in the middle, so we may not necessarily need a massive 6-lane road. 4 lanes might just serve us well. Our park is in good condition now that it's fixed up, and I was messing around with the taxes. We were making between 30 and 50 grand a week. Now I'm going to drop the taxes down. We had it at 3%. Now we're at 2%. And let's see if we can somehow get close to making a profit. Seems our city budget has crashed very rapidly, and we're in the red now, which is, it's unfortunate, but maybe we can generate some income in some other ways, and maybe we don't necessarily need to rely on taxes, which is a pretty crazy thing. But hey, our transit system is profitable. Now, unfortunately, we are having the first big death wave of our city, so we have to increase our healthcare budget, which is not faring great for our low taxes right now. We are possibly going to need to figure out a way. Maybe we can charge a little bit more for our low densities since they are on premium land, and maybe we can even make our garbage disposal system more efficient by having it into 2 areas and one on the other side, so the cars and the garbage trucks don't have to drive as far. Our medical clinic is probably going to be good enough here. I think the full-size hospital was a little overkill, and that's going to save us a couple thousand on our hospital budget. You see, most of the problem here right now is actually in our death care and caring for the aging population that is all of a sudden all dying at once. So we might just need one more little clinic here on the other side of the city to keep these other citizens safe, and then we'll just increase our budget a little bit. I mean, like I said, low density we can up a little bit. And so it seems this is the end of the episode where we fire all our bus drivers. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed the extreme tax cuts down to an incredible 2%. I think our citizens are going to be really happy.